My logo, for show, Pogo. Get down on the. Yo, listen, just like I told Coco, my vision is you already know, so go, slow. Back my logo, for show, Pogo. Now get down on it.
I stay myself, I never change.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. This is Madden 18 on EA Sports. We've got a matchup where time of possession will be a focus. The Browns are #1 in rushing yards, going up against the Texans, who will need to be strong up front. With that, we'll send it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call in this Week 5 matchup.
Thank you very much, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL. The National Football League is here and on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. It's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. Now Watson. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be a second down. A shotgun snap for Watson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Watson. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one on the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? You know when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie and it stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? Well, if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, you might be a little jumpy as well. It might throw off his timing.
Yeah, it'd be jumpy, but sorry, Bob and Linda wouldn't let me see a PG movie until I was 17.
Well, that's just good parenting.
Throwing on first down. Jackson got his man over the middle. This is quick. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there at 22.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
A good pickup there at 22. 2 plays, 2 catches. You have a feeling they're going to look for him early and often, and that's to be expected. You got a player of his caliber, why not?
And I think it's also a message from them to the defense that you're not going to dictate to us what we're going to do with one of our better players, because so often you hear about defenses saying, we'll take away what you do best. In this case, they're going to move him around, find proper matchups, and make sure they continue to funnel the ball to him. Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of...
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
And a couple of big boys up front defensively, and in that 4-3, those D tackles so vital.
Extremely vital. I love how you describe that because if they control things up front, often it's over the guard. Sometimes they slide and make it over the center. It's really hard to get a play started then because a lot of teams want to start inside out running the football. But against a good 4-3, you may not find any space. And on that play, there was 0 space. No gain.
Here's Watson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is brought in at the 21. 51 yards on the punt there. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Let's go!
Now Jackson to throw on 2nd down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. 1st down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Here we go!
Now they try the right side here. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right?
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slips free.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age, but then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right, your mind to beat guys to the football. And getting your toes tapped in bounds definitely qualifies as that, doesn't it?
The veteran showing he still has the agility. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. It's fielded at about the 28. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Hoping now to get back in the end zone on this 4th possession. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. They'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. On 1st and 10, Jackson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. 10 yards still left on 2nd down. Jackson going to throw again. Throw left side complete. That's Ingram. Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Throwing is Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good as that is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Brad, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used?
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Watson off play action. They find some open field here. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. The Texans send the punter out. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they are in at this stage of the game.
And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Jackson looking to throw on second down. He's got it to Ingram, complete. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on third down.
Come on, let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38! Flex round! Flex round!
Back to throw. Jackson. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Let's go! Brand 38!
Jackson now to throw on second down. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Jadeveon Clowney in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Come on, let's go!
To throw is Jackson. Throwing on third and long. And a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
Here we go!
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Looking to throw on second down. Jackson. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be a third and about 13. This offense 2 for 2 on third downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. Third and long. Now Jackson operating from the gun. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. They convert on third with a gain of 22. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician mark.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Browns add on to their lead. So the second time tonight, he has hit the end zone, Charles.
Some people just have a natural nose for the end zone, and he's exhibiting that here in this game. Big-time job, and, of course, he's got to pat the backs of the offensive line.
Yeah, they can't be lost in the shuffle. They're vital. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
To throw is Watson, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at about the 14. Might have been one man away from 6 points. As it stands, it's a huge return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
This one complete to Ingram. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a fairly solid idea.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Jackson looking to throw on 2nd down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. The offense on 3rd down, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Here's Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And Gonzalez puts this one through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or 2 shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Heading out as the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Sims. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Now it's Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A a nice hit, jars the ball free, and brings up third down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 30. They're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And before we could even hear from Larry, we're back and ready to go in Week 5. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. To throw on second down, Jackson. He's got quick. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
Jackson now to throw on second down. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
A gain of 6 there on first. Looking to throw on second down. Jackson looking left side. He's got it complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a first down there to the tight end.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. But that was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
To throw is Jackson on third down. Over the middle, complete. It's Ingram. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now Jackson operating from the gun. And that'll be incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And that's going to be caught from Browns. Touchdown. Post to the tight end for 6. Gosh, those guys are so tough to cover, aren't they? Just in general, tight ends running those patterns near the goal line.
Because you have to decide how you want to treat them. Are they a wide receiver? Are they a big extra blocker on the field? Or are they a hybrid and caught in between? So are you going to use a linebacker? Are you going to use a safety? Are you going to even move a corner in if you're going to play nickel or dime defense? They usually win those matchups because they have an answer for all 3 of those positions.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical. Spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Jackson on 1st and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Here's Jackson from the gun. He'll throw. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Well, after another passing touchdown, I don't think it'd be an understatement to say that he's in the zone, and I believe he likes it.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
Here we go!
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Come on, let's go!
They go play action here on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. A 4-yard pickup. That gets him going forward, but still 15 yards left on third down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Watson now to throw. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. A good pickup there at 22.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner,
taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans claw one back.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Now they try the right side here. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now here on EA Sports. See if they stay on the ground for second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a first down.
And, Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
To throw on second down, Jackson. And his throw is incomplete. The Browns on third down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Jackson now. Throw left side complete. That's Ingram. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns continue to roll. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
It's a gain of 5, and they're going to have a third down. The Texans on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, here's Watson. Oh, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far, nothing going right offensively. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if they're running.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Jackson now, throwing on 3rd and long. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in until you can go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone. Looking to throw. Jackson. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's brought down. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. And now he's closing in on 450 yards passing.
That's an incredible number. I mean, you're talking about the best defenders in the world that you're trying to throw the ball against, and you're creating that type of a number. Fantastic job, fantastic performance. And he's going to have to ice up his arm afterwards, too.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. Jackson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there decides his guys will get the football back. Well, this D, particularly the secondary, has been picked apart at points here tonight. They finally, though, get to the quarterback, get a pick.
And we know this about him. He loves night games, loves the spotlight, loves being the center of attention. I will bet you that he ran off the field almost chuckling to himself.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. From their own 2, Charles, they opted to throw it instead of run it. We saw the outcome.
And I think what a lot of teams count on is defenses to stack the line of scrimmage, trying to force a safety or force a turnover there. But if you've got a good defensive front, you just allow them to play the run, and everyone else stays ready, and they were, and they picked that one off. They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
Looking to throw. Jackson. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. The Texans on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 16. Out of the gun, Watson. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Facing this 4th quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock. They know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. And he's got some space here. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Not an ideal spot to be on 1st down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in 2nd and manageable.
Now a handoff looking right. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. That one looks like he'll throw here. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. When tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You know, put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it, my man. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
The
the good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Now on fourth down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on fourth and goal. Back to throw. Jackson. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Let's go.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. One last throw here for Watson. He's going to let it fly. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 17. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Browns, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Houston, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals.